Hey guys, good morning. This is Mr. Ramos coming to you for our lesson number 1 on our Read 180 class. Once again, this is lesson number 1 for our Read 180 class. I know you're probably nervous in regards to what we are doing. I'm nervous as well, but I want you to know that myself, along with all the other teachers and administrators, we've been working really hard to make sure that this distance learning is working, okay? We will be doing a lot of the stuff that we used to do in class. It's only going to be a little bit different. But before we get started, okay, there are some things that I need to get out of the way. So, just so you know, I will be coming to you every Monday and Wednesday. Every Monday and Wednesday, I will be uploading videos into our Google Classroom, along with the Google Slides and all the other Google documents that you will need for our class. So Mondays and Wednesdays we will be meeting from 11 o'clock to 12:30. Okay. Now those times are only specifically for you to upload or download the information and to ask me any questions in regards to the assignment. Okay. And then if you don't have any questions during that time, but something comes up later on, my office hours are Monday and Wednesday from 3 o'clock to 3:30. Once again, office hours are Monday and Wednesday as well, from 3 o'clock to 3:30, okay? But our class, once again, is from 11 o'clock to 12:30, and that's when I will be uploading these videos for you, okay? My expectation for you, ladies and gentlemen, is that you make sure that you log in to the Google Classroom. Make sure that you look at the Google Slides, because that is where you're going to get all this information along with this video or the videos that I will be uploading. Email or chat any questions that you have for me in regards to the questions. I'll be more than happy to clarify anything. And every assignment is due the week after it is assigned. Okay? So for example, today on Monday, today's assignment is not due until the following Monday at the very beginning of class. That way I can go ahead and give you your grade. If it's Wednesday, if I give you a lesson on Wednesday, then obviously that assignment is not due until the following Wednesday. If the rules have to change a little bit, then I'll go ahead and notify you in regards to that. But for right now, that's the way everything is going to be. Okay? Make sure that you keep all your comments and questions appropriate during this time of distance learning. Don't be inappropriate, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, just like in our classroom, there's only one rule, and that is respect. Respect yourself, respect the teachers that are working really hard to create these lessons, the administrators, the counselors, and we'll have an opportunity later on during our distance learning to do that. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to have 3 activities that we're going to do here in the class. Today we're going to do vocabulary, and then we're going to read a couple of pages from workshop number 3, and then we're going to do a grammar lesson. This is brand new, but I will explain that in a little bit. And then we have our exit slip. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay? If you open up your Google Slides, you will have these pages that you can refer to. You are not going to write on these pages. You're only going to use them as reference. But then you will have another Google slide where you will be, or Google Doc, where you'll be able to answer all these questions. So you will have this copy of this page. Okay, this is page 127, and the copy that you're going to get is going to have numbers on here. Numbers on the definition and numbers on the examples. So your responsibility is, when you open this one, look at this one, and then open the other Google Doc that corresponds to this page, and wherever there is a number, that is what you are responsible for. So for example, number 1, there will be a number 1 right here. Your responsibility is to write down the word, write down the definition, that'll be your number 2, and then number 3 will be to write down the example. Okay, so that's what you're going to do here for this page right there. And then for our reading today, we are going to read only pages 128 and 129. Okay, and just like in classroom, I'm actually going to read this out to you. Okay, so everybody follow along as I read out loud. So it says the Bill of Rights, and while you're reading, you can go ahead. I suggest and highly recommend that you write down any notes. Okay. So the Bill of Rights. In 1787, the United States of America was new. It had 13 states. Each state chose people to meet in Philadelphia. They wrote the Constitution to set rules for how the United States governs itself. But the Constitution was missing something. It did not include individual rights. In 1791, founding father James Madison drafted several amendments. 10 of these became the Bill of Rights. They state the basic freedoms of all Americans. So now I'm going to go ahead and read the 10 amendments. Amendment number 1. The First Amendment defines the freedom of religion, speech, and press. Amendment number 2. The Second Amendment guarantees Americans the right to bear arms or own guns. The Third Amendment prevents the government from forcing citizens to shelter soldiers in their homes. Basically, that means that the army can't come to your house and say, hey, we're going to live here. The Fourth Amendment protects the privacy of Americans. It prevents unnecessary or unreasonable searches of a person's property. So that basically means that a cop can't just go into your car or your house without a search warrant or having reason why they need to be there. Amendment 5. The Fifth Amendment, all Americans are guaranteed the right to a fair and legal trial. It also protects someone from testifying against him or herself under oath. Amendment 6 is the right to a speedy trial. It is guaranteed under the Sixth Amendment. Now we go on to page 129. The Seventh Amendment guarantees the right to a trial by jury in civil or private legal cases where damages are more than $20. Civil cases solve... Ooh, I caught that. You see that? It's kind of windy today. Anyways, blooper. The Seventh Amendment guarantees the right to a trial by jury in civil or private legal cases where damages are more than $20. The civil cases solve disagreements between citizens. Amendment number 8. Unreasonable bail or fines and cruel and unusual punishment are prohibited in the Eighth Amendment. The Ninth Amendment recognizes that Americans have rights that are not listed in the Constitution. And finally, the 10th Amendment says that the powers not given to the U.S. government by the Constitution belong to the states or to the people. Okay? So let me remind you again, you are going to go onto your Google Docs. You will have these 2 pages on there, and they will be numbered as well. And whatever number you have, or whatever numbers are there, you are responsible for doing that on the Google Doc. Okay? All right. Now, our next assignment, which is brand new to us, and this should be activity number 3, is the grammar lesson. Okay? These are brand new to all of us, but you will have a copy of this on your Google Doc. Okay? Now, this assignment, this first grammar lesson is synonyms and antonyms. There's always an example up here, and the examples are pretty straightforward, and you can understand them pretty easy. For example, this one has 2 sections, Section A and Section B. Section A has 30 problems. Section B also has 30 problems. So all you're going to do is on your Google Doc where it says grammar lesson number 1, synonyms and antonyms, you're going to see the numbers posted up there, and all you're going to do is you're going to type in the corresponding answer for that number. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but if you don't understand it, once again, go ahead and contact me via email or chat. Okay? So let me go ahead and summarize once again that you have 3 assignments, or not 3 assignments, but what you are doing today. Okay? So, obviously open up the Google Doc, open up the Google Slides, and everything that you need to do will be on there. Activity number 1 will be the vocabulary, and that is this one right here, this page right there, and that has a Google Doc attached to it as well. Okay? And then the second activity will be to read. I already read it to you, but you'll have it at your disposal so you can read it as well. Read this. Read pages 128 and 129, and then go ahead and do the questions that are numbered on the Google Doc that I gave you. Okay, so that's activity number 2. Activity number 3 will be the grammar lesson, and there's a Google Doc attached to that as well. And then finally, your last activity will be the exit slip, and that is also part of the Google Doc. Okay, all right, guys. So I wish you all the best, and I hope to see all of your assignments by next week. With that said, thank you very much. Thank you for being patient. I hope you are all doing well, and I want you all to know that I am thinking of you all. With that said, This is Mr. Ramos signing off for lesson number 1, Read 180, lesson number 1, day number 1. Take care, guys.